Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a great start to your weeks, despite the cryptocurrency market action. And it's not just a downward market action we're seeing within the crypto space, it's downward market action we're seeing across the board. We're going to be doing a number of things in this video. What we're going to be talking about, we are going to be looking at Cardano, but we're going to be looking at crypto at large. We're going to be discussing a few things that are taking place and a few things that you guys should know as cryptocurrency investors, because we're in a very turbulent time for not just crypto, but markets in general. And if you fail to understand what's taking place on a bigger scale, on a bigger time frame, on a bigger, big picture, what's taking place with finance, what's taking place with the world right now, you will not be able to make much sense of what's taking place within the crypto space. We have a very risk-on environment created from the likes of the Federal Reserve looking to up interest rates, from the likes of the Russia-Ukraine situation, from the likes of uncertain regulatory clarity to come out on the crypto space. And in general, people are looking to take risk off the table. It's been a weird 2 years, with March 2020 being the catalyst that saw Bitcoin really make this run, and we've done it on a number of occasions for you, where we've actually divided Bitcoin where it is today by the money supply, and you can see we're nowhere near as far ahead as this chart would show us, because that's kind of taken into account inflation that's taken place and sort of propped up all assets. We had a huge inflationary event here. We saw mass amounts of inflation, and now we're seeing a cooling off of that. And people are trying to work out, well, what does that cooling off bring? Does that bring a crash for markets? Does it bring a recession? And so on and so forth. So we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to be getting real. One thing I am going to be doing is absolutely reconfirming my bullish bias on crypto. I've been bullish on crypto for 5 years, and I can't see that changing anytime soon. If you understand this technology, if you understand the fact that we are living through a technological revolution in the same way that the internet grasped the world, and prior to that, the PCs, or any technological revolution that's come before us, whether that be the car, whether that be, you name it, a technology that's changed the world, you'll understand that where crypto is today, in comparison with where it's going, we're nowhere near the end goal. And there's a lot of value that gets locked up within that. Now, you guys know we had price predictions for the end of the year, end of cycle, which we've always said, that were a lot higher than where the price of not only Bitcoin, but many of the altcoins actually got to. And we based this off the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory, which essentially is centered around the halvenings. That didn't play out. There's a basket of reasons for why that didn't play out. But what does that now mean? Does that mean that, we don't end up at these kind of destinations? No. I absolutely think we still get to some of the prices that we've set out. I think that we still see the sort of adoption that we've set out and the sort of implementation of these technologies across the world as we've set out. We're just taking a different route to get to the inevitable same destination. And if you've done your due diligence on crypto, it's going to be a lot easier to hodl through these turbulent time periods. And we're going to do a number of things in this video. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin. I'm going to be showing you a number of similar charts that actually played out to the upside, because people look at this chart and they go, I don't understand how you can be bullish. I'm going to show you. I think markets right now are absolutely affected by what's taking place elsewhere. Whether that be the Fed, whether it be Russia, Ukraine, whether it be Biden administration looking to come out and regulate crypto, and everyone's a little bit uncertain of what that looks like. And is it going to be bad? Is it going to be good? You guys know I've already argued the case that I think it's actually going to go in our favor. I think regulation broadly is a good thing for the crypto space. And I think, or certainly don't think, that you would have the likes of BlackRock, you would have the likes of Coinbase doubling the amount of staff that they've got, you would have the likes of all these big companies and institutions trying to file in Bitcoin spot ETFs and also wider blockchain ETFs, if they thought that Biden and his administration, the US government, were going to come out and they were going to bring the kibosh down and stop negatively regulate crypto, and it would be hugely damaging to the point where it would destroy the industry. I don't think that's the case. I think we've already seen a number of countries move towards positively regulating it in opposition with negatively regulating it. Russia was another one. Very well timed, by the way, if I may add. So that's what we're going to be getting into. And again, it's so important to stress that it's been a weird 2 years for the cryptocurrency market. March 2020, and we keep bringing this up, and we're going to bring it up until it sinks in. Saw a huge inflationary event that catapulted Bitcoin to where it is today. And we've often traded or looked at Bitcoin in opposition with M2 or M1. They actually took M1 off, which is the money supply. And you can see Bitcoin is nowhere near where it got to. You know, it didn't do quite as well when you sort of divide it by the money supply or take into account the money supply. So you've got to understand, you know, if you're missing the kind of macroeconomic picture right now, things aren't going to make a lot of sense to you. And crypto often doesn't make sense because you've got the same, you know, back down here, and I held throughout the whole of this, by the way, guys, and this is where I accumulated the majority of my crypto, not just Bitcoin, but you know, a lot of my altcoins. There was so much good news coming out for crypto, but the price just simply wasn't reflecting it. Today, you're in a similar situation. You've got an unbelievably good amount of news, or you've got undeniably good news for crypto coming out, and the price just isn't doing anything. Why is the market downtrending right now? Why is crypto downtrending? It's very simple. You've got more people exiting the market than you have entering it. And you're also extremely low. If you look at your volatility down here, you've got practically no volatility. So it doesn't take a lot to push the market in one direction or another. Remember, price is determined at the margin. That's new money coming in and new money coming out. Hodlers affect the price in a different way in the regards that they take supply off the table. And we've looked at a lot of metrics to suggest that the on-chain analytics for Bitcoin are extremely strong. There's a number of them out there. My favorite one is the short-term hodler to long-term hodler, you know, where that comes, because the long-term, or sorry, short-term hodlers pretty accurately time the top of bull markets and the bottom of bear markets, and we're at a sort of low point for that. So there is a lot going on, and we've often compared, and it's becoming more and more popular. We've been doing it for a while. We got it from Raoul Pal, who essentially pointed out the fact that back here, this was Amazon in 2010. This was the 2008 housing crisis. The governments had to bail people out and inflate markets. Here, you had them come in and say they were going to up interest rates. You saw a downward, same pressures that Bitcoin has today, play out within Amazon before it went on to make higher ground, because there was real value there. In yesterday's video, we played you a clip from Jeff Bezos talking about Amazon when its stock price crashed, and how he said the stock price just simply did not represent what was being built. And we, of course, relayed that to Cardano. We're going to talk about Cardano. I just want to point out a huge sort of criticism that I have with a lot of the people that have come out bearish all of a sudden. It's not a new thing. And the thing that amuses me the most, nobody's more of a bull on Cardano than I am, but the thing that amuses me the most is that these people have only actually come out bearish when the price is already down 70%. You're a little bit late to the party to be bearish now, guys. Yes, we had a different vision for how 2021 into this year was going to look for ADA. It hasn't played out that way, and it's not just Cardano; it's the wider cryptocurrency market. We should have taken in a number of things, or we should have taken into account a number of things, such as just, you know, the fact that how were we really expecting markets to play out in a traditional 4-year cycle theory, which we've been on, by the way. If you guys go and watch my early content, people only judge you on the things that you get wrong, not on the things you get right. We've got a lot of things right on this channel. You know, you can go back to the start of my YouTube channel, which was only just over a year ago now. We were calling a lot of coins to go higher, and they did. You know, we've got 100Xs, we've got 50Xs, 10Xs. We've done very, very well. But it's people that have come in new to the market that have missed a whole chapter of history that are kind of scratching their heads at the moment. There's a bigger picture, and you need to understand that to be a successful investor, not just within the cryptocurrency markets, but in markets in general. And that's what we're trying to do in this video. So it really annoys me that people have all of a sudden flipped bearish after the price is down 70%. Well done. It's a clear downtrend Cardano is in, and we need to break this. There's very, very low volume, so it's not taking a lot to push this price to the downside. You've got more people exiting, or certainly trading it to the downside, than you do the upside. That's been clear since September. But this market can change on a dime. What happens, for example, if next week, or this week, sorry, which is when Biden is supposed to sort of roll out an executive order for regulating crypto, what happens if they go, yeah, we're going to do a similar thing to what Russia said, and we're going to essentially adopt it, or not adopt it, but we're going to regulate it and not too harshly. We're going to almost embrace it rather than reject it. Bitcoin, crypto will go through the roof. But people don't want to see that right now because of the overall sentiment within markets. They want to keep, their foot on the fear. I just don't see that. I think this market recovers. I don't think people are so worried that we enter a traditional, remember, these are your 4-year cycle theories. Look at the timeline on the bottom. This is your 1 4-year. This is the current 4-year that we've been in that hasn't played out in a typical fashion, or prior that you've got, 2013 and prior. People are expecting this long, prolonged 2-year bear market to grip us. I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, I'm adamant we're not going to see a 2-year-long bear market. I think right now we're just seeing a huge lack of retail involvement. If you look at sort of Google Trends and a number of other things, not just for Bitcoin, but for Cardano, you can see there is a huge lack of engagement. People just aren't Googling it. They're not really, we've not seen that kind of FOMO and involvement that we previously have. So the market essentially gets passed over to traders that will trade positions to the up and down side. And if a market's going one way, there's no reason for them to bet against that. And they're taking over right now. This sort of chop is irrelevant. We spoke to you about the kind of adoption curve. This was the adoption curve that the internet had, which looks smooth over time. But within that, you've got ups, you've got downs, you've got sideways, but the direction is overall up. We're expecting a similar thing for crypto, which is nowhere near even started its journey, by the way, guys. I want to show you a pretty cool schematic. This was, I think somebody tagged me in this on Twitter, somebody called Josh. I can't quite find the tweet that was tagged in, but this is Ethereum back in 2016. Did a very similar thing to what Cardano is currently doing. You can see it came up, had this big run, made a higher high, and then retraced the entire move, which had people exceptionally bearish. Then look at what it went on to do. You can't even see this move down here. And we all know how 2017 played out for Ethereum. Just because a chart looks like this doesn't mean that it's going to fall off the edge of the cliff. In fact, I would argue that's not what happens. Yes, this market is downtrending, but it's downtrending based on non-crypto related facts. We know that in terms of Cardano, it's extremely strong. This is the chain activity. Cardano is second. It was first this morning in terms of chain activity. Came out significantly later than Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, and so on and so forth, and has caught up brilliantly. It has the best community, in my opinion, and has the most going for it in terms of a smart contract blockchain. Genuinely believe that, and that's why we're sticking with it. Value doesn't always get represented in the price, and we're going to hold until it does. And in fact, not only are we going to hold, I'm going to be accumulating as much Cardano as I can for the future. Not just ADA, we're also playing an accumulation game with a number of other cryptos. A lot of cryptos within the Cardano ecosystem, such as Ardana, Liquid, ADA Finance, a number of them out there that I think are going to do very well. Meld, because I think there's a bright future ahead of us. And I think the people that miss this opportunity, miss this pullback. I'm not calling this to be the bottom, by the way, guys. We've tried to call a number of bottoms. We've got them wrong. We've got some right. We got this one. How many of you guys were following me back over here? We called this falling wedge perfectly, literally to the T, and then everyone got to experience this. Nearly a 200% gain. People don't talk about that because they don't want to, because they just want to see the negativity in the markets. There's a lot more positivity in these markets that people are just blind to because they've got their blinkers on, and it's your own fault if you miss out on it. There's still opportunities out there to make serious money within the crypto space, and we've shown you some of them within the Cardano ecosystem. And I think people that miss out on this opportunity, it's going to be akin to missing out on this, because nobody wanted to mess with crypto back here, but the people that did are millionaires up here off a small amount of money. I know plenty of people that that's had that happen to, and I am living proof that cryptocurrency can change your life if you play it smartly and you look at the bigger picture that's taking place. It's undeniable what this technology is doing. You're seeing adoption after adoption. You're seeing company after company. Today, we're reading a number of articles from the likes of Intel, BlackRock, Fidelity, they're all moving towards embracing and adopting crypto. And we just need that regulatory framework, that regulatory clarity to go in our favor. And this bull market is back on. And you watch just how quickly everybody that's bearish currently turns bullish. It will be almost instantly because people are fickle, they're fair weathered, and they don't want to have to wait to be rewarded. And that's the society that we live in, unfortunately. So you guys do whatever it is you want to do. We've shown you that, just because the chart looks like this doesn't mean it doesn't have to recover. Amazon in 2010 is a perfect example. I got this from Raw Paul, by the way. I saw a number of people on Twitter trying to claim that they came up with this. I don't think they did, or certainly, maybe they came up to it at a later date. But Raul pointed me in this direction. I think it's absolutely accurate. I also think that the pressures surrounding this chart and how it was shaped are similar to what Bitcoin's currently going through. I'm not worried one bit about Cardano, guys, because I truly believe in what's being, just look at the building that's taking place, guys. It's undeniable. And this, of course, is the S&P as another example that I don't think I showed you because I've been rambling on. Similar looking chart to Bitcoin. You've got this kind of double peaked high, marginally higher high. The S&P has elements of markets or elements of real events shaping the chart within it completely, because I'll show you. I think this was actually around the time of the Iraq War. And this was obviously the financial crisis, which saw everything tank. And then they had to inflate money. And you can even see within this chart, you can see a steep ascent, and then you see a cooling off. Can you see that? There's a cooling off period. So it's very interesting. But that's really all I have for you. I have definitely waffled on for long enough. It was just a real video. What I want to do now with my videos, whilst the price action is doing this and people are losing interest, is drum up that interest again. Start to teach you guys about the Cardano blockchain, which we tried to do. We've got the Sunday swap video coming out this week. We're going to get a number of interviews underway. It's perfect timing for it. We're also going to be diving into individual projects and trying to educate people on DeFi and such things. So that is really all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. If you have enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated, so is a comment. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next YouTube video. Keep your chins up, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents.